His wife smirked. "You're useless now, old man." I shivered on a snowy bench. Spotting a barefoot, purple-faced woman, I handed her my sweater. An hour later, 7 sleek black limousines slowly surrounded me. The woman just said, "But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. My name is Warren Hale, and I'm 58 years old. I spent 35 years building houses, laying foundations, swinging hammers until my hands were more callous than skin. I retired 3 years ago with enough money to live simply, comfortably, quietly. I thought I'd earned that much. I thought wrong. Funny how kids grow up. First word, dada. Last word, get out. Tyler is my son, 32 years old, regional manager at some logistics company that moves boxes from point A to point B and calls it innovation. He married Brielle 2 years ago. She's 29, calls herself an influencer, and has the kind of smile that looks expensive but costs nothing to produce. They invited me to live with them last year after my apartment lease ended. "Dad, we have the space," Tyler said. "It'll be great. Family together." I should have seen it coming. I should have known better. The signs were there. Small at first. Brielle making little comments about my clothes, my haircut, the way I chewed. "Warren, people can hear that." Tyler stopped calling me Dad, just Warren, like I was some tenant who overstayed his welcome. Then the bigger things started. My car disappeared from the driveway one morning. Tyler said he sold it because you don't drive much anyway. My mail started getting opened before I saw it. My retirement account statements went missing. I asked Tyler about it once. He got this look on his face, tight, defensive. "Dad, I'm just helping you manage things. You're getting older. You don't need to worry about all this." I'm 58, not 88. My mind's sharp as it ever was. Sharper, maybe, because I've learned to watch for the knife before it finds your back. But I didn't push. I told myself Tyler meant well. I told myself Brielle would warm up. I told myself a lot of lies. Christmas Eve arrived cold. The kind of cold that bites through your coat and finds the marrow in your bones. Snow had been falling since noon, thick and heavy, turning the streets into a Christmas card nobody wanted to mail. I was in my room, the guest room, though nobody called it that anymore. It was Warren's room, said with the same tone you'd use for the storage closet. I was packing a small bag because Tyler and Brielle were hosting some big party tomorrow. Christmas Day, influencer friends, Tyler's colleagues, the whole circus. Brielle made it clear I shouldn't be visible. "It's just Warren. You know how it is. People don't really want to see, well, you know." I knew. I was shoving socks into a duffel bag when Tyler appeared in my doorway. His face was red, not from cold, from something else. Anger, maybe, or shame wearing an anger mask. "Dad, we need to talk." I straightened up. "Okay. This isn't working out." 4 words. That's all it took. "What isn't working out?" I kept my voice level, calm, like I was asking about the weather. "You, here, living with us." Tyler shifted his weight, wouldn't look me in the eye. "Brielle and I have been talking. We need our space. We're trying to start a family. We can't do that with you here." "I don't take up much room." "It's not about room." His jaw tightened. "It's about our life, our future. We need to focus on us." "Where am I supposed to go?" "I don't know. A motel. One of those senior living places. You'll figure it out." "On Christmas Eve?" "It's better this way. Clean break." Clean. Like I was some stain to be scrubbed away. Brielle appeared behind him. She'd been listening. Of course she had. This was her show. Tyler was just the mouthpiece. "Warren," she said, and God, that smile. Sweet as arsenic. "You understand, right? We're doing what's best for everyone." "Best for everyone," I repeated. "Yes." She stepped closer. "You're useless now, old man. You've got no job, no purpose, nothing to offer. We gave you a place out of charity, but charity has limits." Tyler flinched but didn't contradict her. I looked at my son, really looked at him, trying to find the kid who used to ride on my shoulders, who cried when I left for work trips, who told me I was his hero. He was gone. Or maybe he'd never existed the way I remembered. "How long do I have?" I asked. "Now." Brielle's smile widened. "Pack your essentials. Tyler will drive you to a motel." "No." Tyler shook his head. "I've got things to do. He can walk. It's not far to the main road." "In the snow?" I said. "You've got a coat." So that's how it ended. 32 years of fatherhood, 18 years of raising him, feeding him, teaching him to throw a ball, ride a bike, be a man, and he threw me out like garbage on Christmas Eve. I packed one suitcase, clothes, toiletries, the photo album I kept under my bed. Not much else I could carry. When I walked downstairs, Brielle was taking selfies in the living room, Christmas tree lights behind her. Perfect influencer backdrop. She didn't look up. Tyler stood by the door, had my coat in his hand, like he couldn't wait for me to take it and leave. "Dad," he started. "Don't." I took the coat. "Don't call me that anymore. It's not personal. It's the most personal thing in the world." I walked out. He closed the door behind me. I heard the lock click. The snow hit me immediately. Wet, heavy, clinging. The temperature had dropped. My breath came out in clouds. I started walking. The neighborhood was decorated. Every house lit up with colored lights, inflatable Santas, reindeer on roofs, families inside, warm, together, happy. I kept walking. My suitcase had a broken wheel. It dragged and bumped over the snowy sidewalk. My shoulder started aching from the weight. I thought about calling someone, but who? I didn't have many friends left. Most of them died or moved away. My brother lived in Arizona. We hadn't spoken in 5 years. I was alone. The main road came into view after 20 minutes. Cars passed, headlights cutting through the snow. Nobody stopped. Why would they? Just some old man with a suitcase, probably drunk. Probably deserved whatever situation he'd gotten himself into. There was a park across the street. Small. Just a few benches and a playground covered in snow. I saw a bench under a streetlight. I sat down. The cold seeped through my coat immediately, through my pants, into my bones. I sat there and watched the snow fall. Merry Christmas, Warren. Time passed. I don't know how much. Could have been 20 minutes. Could have been an hour. My fingers started going numb. My face hurt from the cold. That's when I heard the noise, whimpering, soft, like an animal in pain. I turned my head. On the bench next to mine, maybe 30 feet away, was a woman. She was curled in a ball, shaking. Her dress was thin, some kind of evening gown, expensive-looking but useless against the weather. Her feet were bare, completely bare, in the snow. Her face was purple, literally purple, lips blue, eyes half closed. I should have walked away, should have called 911 and moved on. I had my own problems, my own nightmare to figure out, but I didn't. I stood up. My legs protested. I walked over to her. "Ma'am?" My voice sounded rough. "Ma'am, you okay?" Stupid question. She clearly wasn't okay. She didn't respond, just kept shaking. I took off my coat, then my sweater. The cold hit me like a punch, but I wrapped the sweater around her shoulders, tucked it under her chin. "Hey," I said, "stay with me. I'm going to call for help." I pulled out my phone. Battery at 6%. Perfect. Before I could dial, her hand shot out, grabbed my wrist. Her grip was weak but desperate. "No!" Her voice was barely a whisper. "No hospitals. You're freezing to death. No hospitals, please." I don't know why I listened. Maybe because I'd just been thrown out like trash and I knew what it felt like to have no control. Maybe because her eyes, even half frozen, looked aware. Clear, like she had reasons. "Okay," I said. "Okay. But you need to stay warm." I sat down next to her, put my arm around her, tried to share whatever body heat I had left. We sat there like that. Two frozen idiots on a park bench on Christmas Eve. What's your name? I asked. She didn't answer at first. Then, Lorna. I'm Warren. Warren. She tested the name. Why are you helping me? Because I'm an idiot. She made a sound. Might have been a laugh. Hard to tell. Where'd you come from? I asked. You running from something? Running to something. In a gown, barefoot? Long story. I've got time. Nothing but time. She closed her eyes. For a second I thought she'd passed out, but then she spoke again. I needed to know something. About someone. And? Now I know. Cryptic, but I was too cold to push. We sat there. Minutes ticked by. The snow kept falling. I thought about Tyler, about Brielle, about the warm house I'd been thrown out of. I thought about how fast everything can turn, how you can wake up with a life and go to bed with nothing. Lorna shifted against me. Her shaking had slowed. The sweater and body heat were helping. Thank you, she whispered. Don't mention it. Most people would have walked away. Yeah, well, I'm not most people. No, she said. You're not. More time passed. My phone died. The streetlight above us flickered. Then I heard engines. Multiple engines. Deep, expensive sounding. I looked up. Headlights appeared at the park entrance. Not regular headlights. These were different. Brighter. Moving in formation. 7 black limousines rolled into the parking lot. Slowly. Deliberately. They formed a semicircle around our benches. Engines purring. Headlights painting everything white. My heart started hammering. This wasn't random. This wasn't Good Samaritans checking on stranded people. This was something else. The doors opened. All of them. At the same time. Men stepped out. Big men. Suits. Earpieces. The kind of men who get paid to break things. Or people. One of them walked toward us. Calm. Controlled. He stopped 10 feet away. Ms. Vale, we've been looking for you. She took off my sweater. Handed it back to me. Her face was still purple, but her eyes were sharp now. Alert. Focused. I told you to give me 2 hours, she said. You've been gone for 4, ma'am. I was thorough. The man's eyes flicked to me, assessing, calculating threat level. Who's this? This, Lorna said, turning to face me fully, is Warren Hale. She knew my name. I never told her my last name. Colder than the snow. How do you… Warren, she interrupted. Her voice was different now, stronger, commanding. We need to talk. While you're here, hit the hype button, don't forget to subscribe and support this channel with a like. And tell us below, have you ever faced something like this? The limousines idled in the parking lot, their exhaust creating small clouds that mixed with the falling snow. I stood there holding my sweater, my brain trying to catch up with what was happening. Lorna wasn't helpless. Lorna knew exactly who I was. I don't understand, I said. I know. She gestured toward the nearest limousine. Please, get in. We'll talk somewhere warm. I'm not getting in any car until you explain what the hell is going on. One of the big men shifted. His hand moved toward his jacket. Lorna held up a finger. He froze. Fair, she said to me. You deserve that much. Warren, my name is Lorna Vale. I'm the CEO of a crisis management and security firm. We handle delicate situations for high-profile families, politicians, CEOs, celebrities, people who can't afford public scandals. Okay. I pulled my sweater back on. What does that have to do with me? I was hired 3 weeks ago to investigate a potential client. Part of my process involves field assessment, testing character, observing behavior under stress. The pieces started clicking together, slowly, painfully. You weren't in trouble. No. You were testing me. Yes. Why? She smiled, small, genuine. Because I needed to know what kind of man you are, and now I do. You could have just asked. People lie. Behavior doesn't. She stepped closer. Warren, I watched your son throw you out of his house tonight. I watched his wife humiliate you. I watched you walk through the snow with a broken suitcase and no place to go. And then I watched you give a freezing stranger your coat without hesitation. My hands were shaking, not from cold anymore, from something else. Anger, maybe, or fear. You set this up. I created an opportunity. You made the choice. What do you want from me? Nothing. She paused. Actually, that's not true. I want to help you. I don't need help. Yes, you do. You need it desperately. And I think you know that. The snow was getting heavier. One of the men approached with an umbrella, holding it over Lorna's head. Please, she said, 20 minutes, just listen. If you don't like what I have to say, we'll drop you at any motel in town. No strings, no obligations. I looked at the limousines, at the men in suits, at Lorna standing there in her expensive, ruined gown like some kind of corporate fairy godmother. I thought about Tyler, about Brielle, about the locked door and the cold and the bench. 20 minutes, I said. Relief crossed her face. Thank you. The nearest limousine's door opened. The interior was warm, leather seats, soft lighting, a bottle of water waiting in the cup holder. I climbed in. My suitcase went in the trunk. Lorna slid in beside me. The door closed. The soundproofing was immediate. Outside, noise disappeared, just the soft hum of the engine. The driver pulled out without a word. The other 6 limousines followed in formation. Where are we going? I asked. My office, downtown. It's Christmas Eve. I know. Don't you have family? Something flickered across her face. Quick. Gone. I did. Once. I didn't push. She handed me the water bottle. I drank, realized I was desperately thirsty. How long were you watching me? I asked. 3 weeks, not constantly. We have people who observe, take notes, build profiles. That's creepy. That's thorough. She leaned back. Warren, you need to understand something. What I do requires absolute certainty. I can't afford mistakes. The people I work with are powerful. If I recommend someone, that person becomes part of sensitive operations. I need to know they can be trusted. Trusted to do what? That depends on the situation. And what's my situation? Revenge. She said it simply, clinically, like she was ordering coffee. I stared at her. What? Your son stole from you. His wife humiliated you. They threw you out with nothing. And they did it deliberately, knowing exactly what they were doing. She tilted her head. You want revenge, don't you? I wanted to say no. Wanted to say I was above that. Wanted to be the bigger man. Yes, I said. Good. Honesty. That's important. She pulled out a tablet from a side compartment, tapped the screen. I'm going to show you something. It's going to make you angry, but you need to see it. She handed me the tablet. The screen showed a social media post, Brielle's account, posted 2 hours ago. The photo showed Tyler and Brielle in their living room, Christmas tree in the background, both smiling. Caption, finally getting the house to ourselves, Merry Christmas to us. The comments were full of laughing emojis and supportive messages. Brielle responded, let's just say we're old person free now. More laughing emojis. My hands clenched around the tablet. There's more, Lorna said quietly. She swiped. Another post. This one from 3 days ago. Brielle filming herself in her car. Audio. You guys, I love Tyler's dad, but oh my God, he's so useless. Like, what does he even do all day? Watch TV and eat our food? We're basically running a nursing home. Comments. Girl, you're a saint for putting up with that. Brielle's response. Not for much longer. I felt something crack inside me, something cold and sharp. She's been documenting it, Lorna said. Building a narrative for her followers, making herself the victim dealing with a burden, getting validation. It's calculated. Tyler knows about this? He encourages it. We have screenshots of their private messages. He's the one who suggested she frame it as a self-care journey, getting rid of negative influences. She swiped again. Screenshots. Text messages between Tyler and Brielle. Tyler, we need to move faster. He's going to figure out the account transfer soon. Brielle, how much did you move? Tyler, all of it. 43,000. Transferred to our joint account yesterday. Brielle, perfect. Now we can finally redo the kitchen. Tyler, and get him out before Christmas. I don't want him ruining our party. Brielle, say the word, I'll make it happen. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. $43,000, my retirement savings, everything I had, gone. They forged your signature on the transfer authorization, Lorna said. Tyler works in logistics. He has access to document processing systems. He created a fake power of attorney, claimed you were mentally declining, and moved the money. It's fraud, but proving it would take months and cost more than you'd recover. How do you know all this? Because I'm very good at what I do. She took the tablet back. Warren, I've seen this pattern before. Family members who drain the elderly, who gaslight them, who isolate them until there's nothing left to take, and then they discard them. I'm not elderly. To them you are. You're past your usefulness. That's all that matters. The limousine turned. We were downtown now, tall buildings, empty streets, everything closed for the holiday. We pulled into an underground parking garage, private, high security. The other limousines peeled off, heading to different levels. We parked. The driver opened our door. Lorna stepped out. I followed. The garage was pristine, too clean for a parking garage, like someone power washed it daily. This way. Lorna walked toward an elevator. Her bare feet made no sound on the concrete. You need shoes, I said. I have them upstairs. The elevator opened. We stepped in. She pressed a button marked with no number, just a keycard scanner. She swiped a card. The elevator hummed upward. How much of tonight was real? I asked. The cold was real. The snow was real. Your decision to help was real. She looked at me. I needed to know if you were the man I thought you were, or if your son's contempt had merit. And? You're better than he deserves. The elevator opened. I stepped into another world. The office was massive, open plan but divided by frosted glass partitions, minimalist, modern, everything chrome and white and sharp angles. But what struck me most was the silence. The absolute silence. No hum of computers, no chatter, just quiet. A young man approached. Asian, suit, tablet in hand. Ms. Vale, welcome back. Thank you, David. She gestured to me. This is Warren Hale. Get him set up in conference room 3. Water, coffee, food if he wants it. Of course. And get me the full workup on Tyler Hale and Brielle Hale, everything we've compiled. It's already in conference room 3. Efficient as always. She turned to me. Warren, give me 10 minutes to change, then we'll talk properly. She disappeared through a side door. David smiled at me, professional, polite. This way, Mr. Hale. I followed him down a corridor. The frosted glass on either side showed shadows of people working, even on Christmas Eve, even at night. Conference room 3 was smaller than I expected. Just a table, 6 chairs, and a massive screen on the wall. Please sit. David gestured to a chair. Can I get you anything? Coffee, black. Of course. He left. I sat down. The screen flickered to life, split into sections, photos, documents, timelines. My son's face stared at me from a dozen angles. I studied the information. David returned with coffee. I drank it without tasting it. The door opened. Lorna walked in. She'd changed. Black suit now, hair pulled back, shoes on. She looked like what she was, a woman in control. She sat across from me, folded her hands. Questions? Why me? Because you remind me of someone, and because I believe you can do what needs to be done. Which is? Whatever you want, within legal boundaries. She paused. Mostly. Mostly? I don't do illegal work, Warren. I don't have to. There are enough legal ways to destroy someone if you're creative. You're talking about my son. I'm talking about two people who stole from you, who mocked you, who threw you away. Yes, one of them happens to be your son. Does that change what they did? I thought about that, about family, about loyalty. No, I said. It doesn't. Good. She leaned forward. Here's what I'm offering. My firm will provide resources, research, connections, strategy. You'll lead. You'll decide how far this goes. We're just the tools. What do you get out of it? Satisfaction. She smiled. And a test case. If this works, if you can pull this off, you might have a job here. We're always looking for people who understand personal betrayal. They make the best investigators. I'm 58 years old. So, David out there is 62. My lead strategist is 70. Age isn't the issue. Capability is. I looked at the screen again, at Tyler's face. What did you mean when you said I remind you of someone? Her expression shifted. The professional mask cracked for just a second. My ex-husband and my son did something similar to me. 8 years ago. They teamed up, drained my accounts, tried to have me declared incompetent. They almost succeeded. What happened? I built this company, learned everything I could about how people destroy each other, and then I made sure they couldn't do it to anyone else the way they did it to me. Did you get revenge? I got justice. There's a difference. Is there? You tell me. She stood. Think about it. I'm not asking for an answer tonight. Take a few days. We'll put you up in a hotel, a real one, nice bed, hot shower, room service, Merry Christmas from me. I don't need charity. It's not charity. It's an investment. She walked to the door, opened it, paused. Warren, you spent an hour in the snow giving a stranger your coat. But that stranger isn't really a stranger anymore. And tomorrow, when you wake up in a warm bed, you're going to have a choice. Let your son and his wife get away with what they did, or make them pay. And if I choose revenge, then you call me, and we get started. She left. I sat there alone with the screen showing my son's crimes. I thought about 32 years, about raising a boy to be a man. I thought about $43,000, about Brielle's social media posts, about Tyler's face when he told me to leave. I thought about the cold, the snow, the bench, and I thought about what Lorna said, justice or revenge. Maybe there wasn't a difference after all. The day after the media leak, Tyler showed up at the hotel. I don't know how he found me. Maybe he tracked my phone. Maybe he called every hotel downtown. Doesn't matter. I was in my room when the front desk called. Mr. Hale, there's a Tyler Hale in the lobby asking for you. Tell him I'm not here. He says it's urgent. I don't care. Sir, he's getting agitated. Security is concerned. I thought about it. Part of me wanted to let security throw him out. Poetic justice. But another part, the cold, calculating part Lorna was teaching me, saw an opportunity. Tell him to meet me in the lobby restaurant, 15 minutes. I got dressed, called Lorna. Tyler's here. Good. Meet him. Record everything. Your phone has that capability now. She'd given me a new phone yesterday, encrypted, untraceable, with features I didn't know phones could have. What if he tries something physical? He won't. He's desperate. Desperate people negotiate. They don't fight. What do I say? Listen more than you talk. Let him reveal himself. And remember, he thinks he still has power. Let him think that until the exact moment you take it away. I went down to the restaurant, nearly empty, post-Christmas lull, just a businessman reading a newspaper and a couple sharing coffee. Tyler sat at a corner table. He looked terrible, hair messy, dark circles, suit wrinkled like he'd slept in it. When he saw me, he stood, started to approach. I held up a hand. Stay there. He stopped, sat back down. I walked over, didn't sit, just stood. You have 5 minutes, I said. Dad, 4 minutes, 50 seconds. He swallowed. This is insane. Whatever you think you're doing, it's too much. Too much. I repeated it, flat, emotionless. You stole $43,000 from me. Your wife posted about it online. You threw me out in the snow on Christmas Eve. But I'm doing too much. I know we messed up. But this? You're destroying Brielle's career. You're going after my job. How is that fair? Fair? The word tasted bitter. You want to talk about fair? We'll give the money back, all of it. Today, right now. Just stop. Sit down. He blinked. Sat. I pulled out a chair, sat across from him, activated the recording app on my phone. Casual, like I was checking messages. Tell me something, Tyler. When did you decide I was worthless? I never. Don't lie. When? He looked away. You don't understand the pressure we're under. Educate me. Brielle's business, my career. We're trying to build something, to be something. Having you there, it made us look what? Small, ordinary, like we couldn't take care of ourselves. So you needed to take care of me instead, by stealing from me? The money was supposed to be temporary. We were going to pay you back. When? After you redid the kitchen? After Brielle bought more fake followers? His face went pale. You know about that. I know everything, Tyler. Everything you did, everything you said, everything you planned. How? Does it matter? He leaned forward, desperate now. Dad, please. We made mistakes, big mistakes, but we can fix this. Family fixes things. Family. I let the word hang there. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. You're my father. And you're my son. Past tense. You don't mean that. Don't I? I leaned back. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to return every cent you stole, with interest. 5%. That's being generous. Then you and Brielle are going to sign a document admitting what you did. Fraud. Theft. Elder abuse. Elder abuse? I'm not. You took advantage of someone you claimed was mentally declining. That's the legal definition. Sign the document or I press charges. You wouldn't. Try me. We stared at each other, father and son, except we weren't. Not anymore. What happens after we sign? He asked quietly. I leave you alone. No more leaks. No more exposure. You keep whatever pieces of your life are left. And if we don't sign? Then I destroy you completely. I have information you don't even know exists. I have connections you can't imagine. And I have nothing left to lose. Which one of us is more dangerous? He knew the answer. Brielle will never agree to this. Then she goes down with you. Her choice. You're different, he said. You're not the man I knew. No. I'm the man you created. You wanted me gone? Congratulations. This is what's left. I stood. You have 48 hours. After that, everything goes public. And I mean everything. The work fraud, the fake followers, the stolen money, your uncle's involvement, all of it. Brennan's board will see it. Brielle's remaining sponsors will see it. Every person you know will see it. This is revenge. No, revenge would be what I want to do. This is mercy. I walked away, didn't look back. Tyler called after me. Dad, please. The website went live at 4 p.m. on New Year's Eve. 3 hours before the party, Jason called me. It's up, already getting hits. How many? 30 in the first minute. Climbing fast. Someone shared it in an influencer group chat. It's spreading. I pulled up the site on my phone. Simple design, black background, white text, professional. The headline, The Real Story Behind Brielle Hale. Below it, sections, each one documented, sourced, devastating. Section 1, The Fake Following. Screenshots of bot accounts, purchase receipts, analytics showing the fraud. Section 2, The Fabricated Background. Photos of Brielle's family home, her parents' modest jobs, proof she lied about her wealthy upbringing. Section 3, The Theft. Bank records showing Tyler's transfer of my money, documentation of the forged power of attorney, legal definitions of elder fraud. Section 4, The workplace fraud. Tyler's altered manifests. Internal Brennan reports. His suspension notice. Everything clean. Everything legal. Everything true. At the bottom, a simple statement. This information is provided for public awareness. All documentation is authentic and verifiable. No defamation, no lies, just facts. My phone rang. Tyler. I answered. Yeah. You bastard. His voice was raw, broken. You absolute bastard. Did you like the website? My phone won't stop buzzing. Everyone's seen it. Everyone knows. Good. Brielle's hysterical. She's locked herself in the bathroom. The caterers just canceled. Half our guests sent cancellation texts. The other half are probably coming just to watch us burn. Sounds like a party to me. You destroyed us. Our careers, our reputations, everything. Are you happy now? Getting there. I'm your son. You were my son. Now you're just someone who made bad choices. I'll make this right. I'll fix it. You'll what? Pay me back? Sign a paper? Tyler, it's too late for that. You wanted me gone. Now, I'm gone, and I took your whole world with me. Dad, please. Don't call me that. You lost that right when you threw me out in the snow. I hung up. Lorna called immediately. He's breaking. I know. Brielle's posting frantically. Damage control. It's not working. The influencer community is turning on her. They hate being lied to. What about the party? Still happening. Barely. About 40 people confirmed they're still coming. Down from 200, and most of those 40 are coming to see the fallout. Perfect. Warren. She paused. You should be there. What? At the party. You should go. See it with your own eyes. Make sure they know who did this. That's insane. Is it? You've come this far. Finish it properly. They'll throw me out. They'll try. Bring security, make a statement. Let them see you're not the pathetic old man they threw away. You're the one who dismantled their lives piece by piece. I thought about it. About walking into that party. About seeing Tyler and Brielle's faces. About watching their humiliation in person. I'll do it. Good. David will pick you up at 7. Wear something nice. Make an impression. She hung up. I sat there. Heart pounding. This was it. The end game. I got dressed. Not in my work clothes. In the suit Lorna had bought me yesterday. Charcoal. Well fitted. Expensive. I looked in the mirror. I looked like someone who mattered. David arrived exactly at 7. We drove in silence. The streets were busy. New Year's Eve traffic. People heading to parties, celebrating, being normal. We weren't normal. We pulled up to Tyler and Brielle's house. Suburban. Nice neighborhood. The kind of place you're supposed to raise families and be happy. Cars lined the street. Not many. Maybe 20. The front windows showed people inside. Moving. Talking. The party was happening. Ready? David asked. Yeah. Security is already positioned. You'll have backup if things get physical. They won't. You hope they won't. Stay alert. I got out. Walked up the driveway. My driveway. The house I'd helped pay for before they threw me away. The front door was open. Music playing. Low. Awkward. I walked in. The conversation stopped immediately. Everyone turned. Stared. Tyler stood by the fireplace, talking to 2 people I didn't recognize. His face went white when he saw me. Brielle was on the couch, wineglass in hand. She looked terrible, makeup running, eyes red. When she saw me, she stood. Get out. Her voice was shrill. Get out of my house. Your house? I smiled. My retirement money helped pay for this house. I think that gives me visitation rights. People whispered. Phones came out. Someone was definitely recording. Tyler crossed the room. Fast. Dad, you need to leave. Now. Or what? You'll call the police? Tell them your father showed up uninvited? Go ahead. I'd love to explain to them why I'm here. I've got documents, bank records, everything. He stopped, trapped. Brielle moved closer. Her face twisted with rage. You ruined us. You sick, vindictive old man. We took you in, gave you a home, and this is how you repay us? You took me in? I laughed, cold, sharp. You stole from me. You humiliated me. You threw me out on Christmas Eve, and you're calling me vindictive? We were going to pay you back. When? After you spent my money on a new kitchen? After Brielle bought more fake followers? Gasps from the guests. More phones, more recording. Tyler grabbed my arm. Stop. Just stop. You've made your point. Have I? I pulled free. Because from where I'm standing, you still don't understand what you did. We made mistakes. You didn't make mistakes. You made choices. Deliberate, calculated choices. To use me. To discard me. To laugh about it online. That was Brielle's idea. I don't care whose idea it was. My voice rose. The first real emotion breaking through. You're 32 years old. You're not a child. You knew what you were doing, and you did it anyway, because you thought I was weak, old, helpless. The room was silent. Everyone watching. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was real, ugly, raw. I want you to understand something, I continued. Quieter now, more controlled. Everything that's happened to you? I did that. The website, the leaks, the investigation at your work, all of it. I orchestrated every piece, because you thought I was nothing, and I needed you to know how wrong you were. Brielle laughed, bitter. You think you're strong? You're pathetic. You had to hire people to do your dirty work. You couldn't even face us directly. I'm facing you now. With security outside, with backup. You're a coward. Maybe, but I'm a coward who destroyed you. Tyler's hands clenched. I should what? Hit me? Go ahead. Everyone's recording. Make it worse. He didn't move. Here's what happens now, I said. You're going to return every cent you stole, plus interest, plus damages, plus compensation for emotional distress. I'm calculating $20,000 additional. Total payment, $70,000. We don't have $70,000, Brielle shrieked. Then sell the house, sell the cars, sell everything. I don't care. You have 30 days. After that, I press charges. Elder abuse, fraud, identity theft, all of it. You wouldn't. I already destroyed your careers, your reputations, your social standing. Do you really think I'll stop at legal charges? Tyler looked at the guests, at the phones, at the evidence of his humiliation being recorded in real time. Everyone leave. People didn't move, too fascinated by the drama. Get out! Tyler screamed. They scattered, grabbed coats, rushed for the door. Within 2 minutes, the house was empty except for me, Tyler, and Brielle. Brielle collapsed on the couch, sobbing, mascara running. How could you do this? How could you be so cruel? Cruel? I stared at her. You want to know cruel? Cruel is posting about throwing me out. Cruel is calling me useless. Cruel is stealing my money and laughing about it. I'm not being cruel. I'm being fair. This isn't fair. This is revenge. Yes, it is. And it feels good. Tyler moved between us. Dad, Warren, please. We'll pay you. We'll do whatever you want. Just stop. No more websites, no more leaks, no more humiliation. We're done. You won. Just let us be done. I studied him, saw the defeat in his eyes, the brokenness. Good. You have 30 days, I repeated. $70,000, not a penny less. I'll send you bank details tomorrow. I turned to leave. Tyler grabbed my shoulder, spun me around. I loved you, he said, voice cracking. For 32 years, I loved you. You were my hero, and you threw it all away for what? For money? For revenge? No. I met his eyes. I threw it away because you threw me away first. You just didn't expect me to survive. I walked out. David was waiting by the car. How'd it go? Perfectly. We drove away. I looked back once, saw Tyler standing in the doorway, Brielle beside him, both broken, both destroyed. I felt nothing but satisfaction. We drove to Lorna's office. She was waiting in conference room 3, whiskey already poured. I heard it went well. Everyone recorded. It'll be online by midnight. Their humiliation is now permanent. Good. She raised her glass. To consequences. To consequences. We drank. What happens now? I asked. We wait. They'll try to scramble. They'll try to find the money. They might even try to fight back. But they're broken. They'll pay. And after they pay? You disappear. New city if you want. New life. Start over. Or... She paused. You work for me, officially. We could use someone with your skills. Someone who understands personal betrayal. Someone who's willing to go as far as necessary. I thought about it. About the past week. About everything I'd learned. About the man I'd become. I'll think about it. Take your time. The offer stands. I finished my drink, stood. I should go. Warren. She stopped me at the door. You did good work. Brutal. Efficient. Cold. Everything I hoped for. Thanks. Just remember, this feeling you have now, this satisfaction, it's temporary. Eventually, you'll have to decide if revenge was worth what you gave up to get it. What did I give up? Your son, your sense of morality, your old self, maybe your soul if you believe in that sort of thing. I gave those up when he threw me out. Did you? Or did you give them up when you chose to destroy him instead of forgive him? I didn't answer, just left. The hotel room felt empty, cold, despite the heat. I sat by the window, watched fireworks start in the distance. New Year's Eve, people celebrating, being happy. I wasn't happy, but I wasn't sad either. I was just satisfied. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Yeah. Warren, this is Donald Kemp, Brielle's uncle, Tyler's boss. Former boss. Yes. Well, I'm calling to propose a solution. I'm listening. This has gotten out of hand. Tyler and Brielle made mistakes, but what you're doing is excessive. I'm prepared to personally guarantee payment of the $70,000, plus an additional $30,000 for your trouble, $100,000 total. In exchange, you sign a non-disclosure agreement. No more leaks, no more harassment, no charges pressed. So you can cover it up. So everyone can move on. Not interested. Mr. Hale, please be reasonable. I am being reasonable. Your nephew stole from me. Your niece humiliated me. You covered up workplace fraud, and now you want to pay me to be quiet? No, I want them to pay, personally. Not through an uncle with money to burn. They don't have $70,000. Then they'll figure it out. Sell things, get loans, work extra jobs. I don't care. They created this mess. They fix it. You're being vindictive. Yes, I am. Happy New Year, Donald. I hung up. Midnight approached. Fireworks got louder. The city celebrated. I poured water from the minibar, raised the glass to my reflection in the window. Happy New Year, Warren. Welcome to your new life. Outside, colors exploded in the sky. Beautiful, temporary, gone, just like Tyler and Brielle's careers, their reputations, their lives. I'd destroyed it all, and it felt good. New Year's Day started with messages. Tyler, we'll pay, just give us time. Brielle, you destroyed everything. I hope you're happy. Donald, final offer, $150, take it or leave it. I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I met Lorna for coffee. Not at her office, at a small cafe downtown. Quiet. Private. You're famous, she said, sliding her tablet across the table. The screen showed social media posts, hundreds of them, all about last night, videos of me at the party, Tyler's face going white, Brielle's breakdown, my calm, cold delivery. The comments were divided, half calling me a hero, half calling me a monster. Influencer community is eating it up, Lorna said. They love when one of their own falls, schadenfreude at its finest. What about Tyler's work? Brennan announced his termination this morning, effective immediately. Cited the investigation findings, his uncle is being reassigned, demoted essentially. Different division, less authority. Good. You realize Tyler's life is effectively over? No job, no career prospects. Everyone knows about the fraud. He'll be lucky to find work managing a gas station. He should have thought about that before stealing from me. Fair point. She sipped her coffee. Donald's offer, you considering it? No. 150,000 is a lot of money. It's not about money. Then what is it about? Watching them suffer. She smiled. You're learning. But Warren, there's something you need to understand. Revenge has diminishing returns. The first strike feels good. The second feels good. But by the 10th, the 100th, it becomes work. It becomes who you are, and you stop being able to do anything else. Sounds like you're speaking from experience. I am. After my husband and son betrayed me, I spent 2 years destroying them. And I succeeded. They lost everything. Jobs, reputations, friends. My husband ended up in a small apartment in Nebraska working retail. My son became estranged from his own children. I won. But I spent 2 years obsessed, focused on nothing else. And when it was over, when they were broken and I'd won, I realized I'd become the very thing they accused me of being: vindictive, cold, inhuman. You started this company. Yes, as therapy, as a way to channel that energy into something productive. But it took years to get here, years to remember who I was before the betrayal. She leaned forward. I'm not saying stop. I'm saying be careful. Revenge can consume you. Make sure you know when to walk away. When is that? When you stop feeling satisfaction, when it becomes routine, when you realize you're doing it out of habit instead of justice. I thought about that. I'm not there yet. I know, but you will be eventually. Everyone reaches that point. Question is whether you'll recognize it. We finished our coffee, talked about logistics, about payment schedules, about backup plans if Tyler and Brielle didn't comply. As we left, Lorna handed me an envelope. Your first paycheck. You did good work. Consider it a signing bonus if you decide to work here. I opened it later at the hotel. Check for $25,000. More money than I expected. More than seemed right. But I deposited it anyway. Days passed. Tyler and Brielle went silent. No calls, no texts, just silence. Patricia monitored their activity. They're panicking, trying to find loans, reaching out to family. Brielle's parents said no, can't afford it. Tyler's mother, your ex-wife, told him to figure it out himself. She knows what happened? Everyone knows. It's all over social media. Local news picked it up. Human interest story, viral revenge tale. Tyler and Brielle are infamous. Good. But something felt different. The satisfaction was duller, less intense. Lorna was right. The returns were diminishing. A week after New Year's, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer, but something made me. Hello? Warren? A woman's voice, older, shaky. This is Helen, Tyler's mother. My ex-wife. We divorced 15 years ago. Amicable. She moved to Florida. We barely spoke. Helen. I saw what happened, what Tyler did, what you did. And? I'm calling to tell you I understand. What he did was unforgivable. I waited. But Warren, he's still your son, and destroying him won't fix what's broken. He destroyed me first. Did he? Or did he just make terrible choices that hurt you? What's the difference? Intention. Tyler's not evil. He's weak, stupid, influenced by that awful woman, but not evil. Weak, stupid people can do evil things. Yes, they can. But does that mean they deserve to lose everything? Their whole lives? Their future? He took mine. No. He took your money and your dignity. Those can be recovered. But what you're taking from him? His career, his reputation, his sense of self? Those don't recover. You're not balancing the scales. You're tipping them in the opposite direction. So, I should forgive him? No. But maybe you should stop. You've made your point. He knows what he did. Everyone knows. Continuing just makes you the villain in a new story. I don't care about the story. Don't you? She sighed. Warren, I know you. You're not this person. This cold, vengeful person. You're pretending to be something you're not. And eventually, it'll break you. I'm already broken. No. You're hurt. There's a difference. Hurt heals. Broken doesn't. She hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, thinking. Was she right? Was I taking this too far? I looked at the bank app on my phone. The $70,000 I demanded. Still unpaid, still outstanding. I could push, could escalate, could press charges like I threatened, or I could stop. Let them struggle, let them live with their shame, let them rebuild from nothing. Walk away while I still could. I called Lorna. We need to talk. Her office, conference room 3. Familiar now. I'm thinking about stopping, I said. Why? Because Helen's right. I'm becoming someone I don't recognize. That's not necessarily bad. It feels bad. Lorna studied me. You're at the crossroads, the moment I mentioned, when revenge stops being satisfying and starts being work. How do I know when to stop? When the cost of continuing exceeds the benefit, when it hurts you more than it hurts them, when you realize you're doing it for the wrong reasons. What are the wrong reasons? Habit, boredom, filling a void, anything that's not about justice. And if I stop now? Tyler and Brielle still owe you $70,000. You can negotiate that down. Settle for the original 43 plus reasonable interest. Let them pay it over time, or you can forgive the debt entirely. Walk away clean. They don't deserve forgiveness. No, but maybe you deserve peace. I sat with that. Peace. Strange concept. If I stop, what happens to them? They rebuild, slowly, painfully. It'll take years, but people have short memories. Eventually, someone else will be the scandal. The internet will move on. They'll find work, make new friends, live smaller lives, but lives nonetheless. And me? You start over too. New city, new life, new purpose. Or you work here. Help people like you. People who've been betrayed, used, discarded. Give them the tools to fight back. That's just more revenge. No, that's balance. There's a difference. My phone buzzed. Tyler. Text. Dad, please, we're trying. We've got $20,000. We'll pay you $500 a month until the rest is paid. Please accept. We can't do more. $20,000. Not even half. But it was something. What would you do? I asked Lorna. Me? I'd take the $20,000, forgive the rest, and walk away. But I'm not you. Only you can decide what's right. I stared at Tyler's text, thought about 32 years, about the good times, the times before Brielle, before the betrayal, when Tyler was just a kid who loved his dad. That kid was gone, maybe forever, but maybe not. I typed, 20,000 cash, delivered within 48 hours, then we're done. No more contact, no more revenge, no more family, we're even and we're done. Sent. Tyler's response was immediate. Yes, thank you, thank you. I set the phone down, looked at Lorna. Done. How do you feel? Tired. That's normal. Revenge is exhausting. What now? Now you rest. Then you decide what kind of person you want to be. The one who destroyed his son? Or the one who walked away before it went too far? Both. I'm both. Yes, you are. And that's something you'll have to live with. 2 days later, David picked me up. Drove me to a parking garage downtown. Different from Lorna's building. Public, neutral territory. Tyler was there, standing by his car. He looked terrible. Weight loss. Hollow eyes. Aged 10 years. He had a duffel bag. Set it on the hood of his car when I approached. 20,000. Cash. His voice was flat. I checked the bag. Bundles of bills. Looked right. Okay. We stood there. Awkward. Painful. I'm sorry, Tyler said quietly. For everything. I know it doesn't change anything. But I'm sorry. I looked at him. Really looked at him. Saw my son, broken, destroyed, by his own choices, and by mine. I know. Will you ever forgive me? I don't know. Maybe someday. But not now. He nodded. I understand. Tyler. I hesitated. Then, don't let this destroy you. Rebuild. Be better. Prove you're more than your worst choices. Why do you care? Because despite everything, you're still my son, and I still remember who you were before all this. His eyes watered. Dad, don't. Just be better. I took the bag, walked away, didn't look back. David drove me to the hotel. I packed my things, checked out. Lorna met me in the lobby. Where will you go? I don't know, somewhere new. Somewhere nobody knows this story. The job offer still stands. I know. I'll think about it. Warren. She handed me a card. You did something most people can't. You stood up for yourself, took control, made them pay. That takes strength. Feels more like destruction. Sometimes they're the same thing. I left. Took a cab to the train station, bought a ticket west. Didn't matter where, just away. As the train pulled out, I looked at the city disappearing behind me. Thought about Tyler, about Brielle, about everything that happened. I'd won. I'd made them pay. I'd balanced the scales. But victory felt hollow. Helen was right. I'd become someone I didn't recognize. Someone cold, calculating, cruel. Maybe that was necessary. Maybe that was the only way to survive betrayal. Or maybe I'd just proven I was capable of being as bad as them. I didn't know. The train rolled on, taking me away from my old life, towards something new. I closed my eyes, tried to rest, but sleep didn't come, just the weight of what I'd done, and the question of whether it was worth it. 3 weeks later, I was in Denver. Random choice, looked at a map, pointed, ended up here, found a cheap apartment, got a job at a hardware store, manual labor, simple, mindless. Nobody knew me. Nobody cared about my story. I was just another guy starting over. But the past didn't let go easily. Late nights I'd lie in bed thinking about Tyler, about his face when he handed me the money, about the brokenness in his eyes. I'd check social media, couldn't help myself. Tyler deleted his accounts, went dark, smart. Brielle tried to rebuild, posted a few times, learning from mistakes. Growing as a person, generic recovery talk. Her remaining followers weren't buying it. Comments were brutal. She eventually went private. They were surviving. Barely. But surviving. And me? I was existing. Lorna called once a week. Job offer still stands. Still thinking. Warren, you can't run forever. Eventually, you'll have to decide what you're running toward. I'm not running. Then what are you doing? Living. No, you're hiding. Maybe she was right. One night I got a message on the encrypted phone Lorna gave me. From Patricia. You should know. Tyler's been asking about you. Wants to know if you're okay. I stared at that message for an hour. Tyler was asking about me. After everything. After I destroyed his life. He was asking if I was okay. I didn't respond. But it bothered me. Kept me up. A week later, another message, this time from David. Brielle and Tyler separated, divorce pending, thought you'd want to know. The marriage was over. Tyler had lost everything, job, wife, future, all because of his own choices, and because I made sure those choices had consequences. I should have felt satisfaction. I felt nothing. Another week, another message. Helen. Warren. Tyler's in therapy, trying to work through things. I thought you should know. Not because I think you should do anything, just because I know you still care. She was wrong. I didn't care. Except I did. Damn it, I did. I called Lorna. I need to talk. Her office, back in my old city. 3-hour drive. Worth it. She met me in conference room 3, poured whiskey. You look terrible, she said. Thanks. What's wrong? I don't know. I got what I wanted. They're destroyed, I'm free, but it doesn't feel right. Because revenge doesn't fix anything. It just transfers pain. Then why did you help me? Because you needed to learn that yourself. Telling you wouldn't have worked. You had to experience it. So this was all a lesson? No, it was real. You destroyed them. That happened. But now you're dealing with the aftermath, the emptiness, the realization that winning didn't make you whole. I drank, stared at the glass. What do I do now? That's up to you, but I have a suggestion. Which is? Use what you learned. Work for me. Help people who've been betrayed. Give them options. Give them power. But also give them wisdom. Teach them what you learned. That revenge is a tool, not a solution. I'm not qualified. You're more qualified than anyone. You've been on both sides, victim and victor. You understand the cost. That makes you valuable. I thought about it, about helping others, about preventing them from making my mistakes. What would the job entail? Investigation, strategy, client support. We'd train you, teach you the technical skills. But your real value is your perspective, your humanity, the part of you that still questions whether this was worth it. You said I'd lost my humanity. No. I said you'd given up parts of it, but you're getting them back. That's why you're here. That's why you're struggling. You're remembering what it feels like to be human. It hurts. Of course it does. Conscience always does. I finished my drink. If I take the job, I need conditions. Name them. No cases involving family. I can't do that again. Agreed. What else? I get to decide how far each case goes. If I think we're crossing a line, we stop. That's reasonable. Anything else? I want to try to fix things with Tyler. She raised an eyebrow. Define fix. I don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe just tell him I'm sorry. Not for the consequences. He earned those. But for taking it as far as I did. For enjoying it. You think he'll accept that? Probably not. But I need to try. Okay. But Warren, understand something. If you do this, if you reach out, you're opening a door. He might walk through. He might slam it in your face. You need to be ready for both. I know. When? Soon. After I start the job. After I figure out who I am now. She smiled. Welcome to the team. Training started the next week. Intensive. Technical. Learning how to investigate without crossing legal lines. How to gather information. How to build cases. Patricia taught me corporate structures. How to navigate hierarchies. How to find weaknesses. David taught me surveillance techniques. Digital forensics. Everything legal but effective. Jason taught me social media analysis, pattern recognition, behavioral prediction, and Lorna taught me strategy. How to think 3 moves ahead. How to anticipate responses. How to know when to push and when to pull back. I was a decent student. Old. Slow. But motivated. 2 months in, Lorna gave me my first case. Woman named Judith, 65. Daughter and son-in-law convinced her to sell her house and move in with them, then drained her accounts and kicked her out. Similar to your situation. What does she want? Justice, not revenge. Justice. What's the difference? You're about to find out. I met Judith at a coffee shop. Small woman, gray hair, tired eyes. She told me her story. Every detail. The manipulation, the lies, the betrayal. It was my story. Just different names. What do you want to happen? I asked. I want my money back. I want them to admit what they did. I want them to understand they can't do this to people. Do you want them destroyed? She looked at me. Really looked. No, I want them to be better. I want them to learn. But I want justice first. Justice, not revenge. I understood the difference now. We built a case, carefully, legally, documented everything. Then we approached the daughter and son-in-law, calmly, professionally, showed them the evidence, explained the consequences if they didn't cooperate. They paid Judith back within a month. Signed admission statements, agreed to therapy, No public humiliation, no destroyed careers, no revenge, just justice. Judith got her money, got her dignity, got closure, and she walked away whole. I'd won too. But I hadn't destroyed anyone. It felt better than Tyler and Brielle's destruction ever did. After the case closed, I called Tyler, first time in 3 months. He answered on the 5th ring. "Dad?" "Yeah." Silence. Heavy, painful. "Why are you calling?" he asked. "Because I needed to tell you something." "What?" "I'm sorry. Not for holding you accountable. You deserved that. But for taking it as far as I did. For enjoying your pain. For becoming the kind of person who could do that." More silence. Then, "Okay." "That's it? Okay? What do you want me to say? Thank you? I forgive you? I don't. You destroyed my life, Dad. My career is gone. My marriage is gone. My reputation is gone. All because I made a mistake. You made a lot of mistakes. And you made sure I paid for every single one. Congratulations. You won. It doesn't feel like winning. Good. Maybe that means you're still human." The line went quiet. "Tyler," I said, "for what it's worth, I hope you rebuild. I hope you become better than you were. I hope you find happiness. I won't. You might, if you try. Why do you care?" "Because despite everything, you're still my son." He laughed, bitter. "You didn't act like it." "No, I didn't. And I'm sorry for that too." "Sorry doesn't fix anything." "I know." Another long pause. Then, "I should go." "Tyler, wait. One more thing." "What?" "If you ever need help, real help, not money, not favors, just help, call me. I'll be there." "Why would I ever call you?" "Because I'm the only person who understands what you're going through. Because I've been where you are, lost, broken, trying to figure out how to live with consequences, and because I still care, even if I shouldn't." Silence. Then, "I'll think about it." He hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, feeling lighter somehow, not forgiven, not reconciled, but honest. I'd said what I needed to say. What Tyler did with it was up to him. Lorna found me in the office later. "How'd it go?" "About as well as expected." "You feel better?" "A little." "Good. That's progress." "Lorna, can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Do you regret what you did to your ex-husband and son?" She thought about it. "Sometimes, not often, but sometimes. Late at night, when I'm alone, I wonder if I could have handled it differently, if I could have been the bigger person. And then I remember what they did, how they tried to destroy me, and I remember I didn't start it. I just finished it. Is that enough?" "Most days. But Warren, here's the thing. You and I, we're not good people. Not anymore. We did what we had to do to survive, to fight back, to reclaim power. But that doesn't make us heroes. It makes us survivors who learn to bite back. Can we be good again? I don't know. Maybe. If we use what we learned to help others. If we teach them balance. If we prevent them from going as far as we did. Maybe that's redemption. You believe in redemption? I believe in trying. That's all we can do." She left me there, alone with my thoughts. I looked around the office, at the people working, at the cases being built, at the lives being protected. This was my life now, helping people fight back, teaching them to be smarter than I was, to know when to stop. It wasn't forgiveness, it wasn't peace, but it was purpose. And maybe that was enough.